Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Chivas Status. This is Rigo el Chiva. You can follow me on Twitter at Rigo el Chiva, and I'm here with my boy Danny. You can follow him on Twitter at Dude It's Danny. if
Follow
if
me,
you
guys.
forget, you'll remember, right? It's easy to remember, right? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Good. Happy about the win, man. How else can we start? Can we start the weekend?
Yeah, it's a great way to start the weekend, and yeah, you want the win, but I'm also leaving thinking about like the mistakes that were made. I'm not completely happy about conceding 3 goals. There was a moment there where I thought we were going to lose it, and so it's these mistakes that players are making, that it's just consistently making the same mistakes, and I don't see much improvement in that. So that's why I'm more worried than happy at the moment. How about you?
Yeah, yeah. I'm about the same, honestly. I don't take much from this Copa, honestly, because it's a friend. It's all friendlies, It's
Hmm.
Clásico, yeah, but it's a friendly tournament,
Yeah,
What we got to take from is more the play style, la técnica, everything, the players,
yeah.
how they're playing out there on the field, and I'm not too satisfied with it, man. Honestly, very few players left me satisfied today,
Hmm.
and even less the coach. The coaches just left me completely
Yeah.
non-confident. I'm not confident in the team going far.
And we'll go into that a little bit later, but I do think that they made some good decisions, but others were just difficult to understand. And if we look at the flow of the game, it started out with uh, right away, whistle blown. Vega gets the ball, passes it off to JJ, and it looked like the defenders were asleep. He puts it, he's so good at finishing. I don't
Yeah,
know, like he just puts it straight, low into the bottom right hand corner of Ochoa. There's nothing he could do about it. What'd you think about that goal?
oh man, it was amazing. Classic Jota Jota, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
amazing finishing. He just gets off a shot from wherever he is. I forgot who keeps saying this on Twitter, but it just constantly every
yeah.
time he turns around, he's a danger for a shot, man. Ever
He
since he
find,
debuted in Chivas, he's always been that guy.
yeah, I remember a couple goals against Tijuana, right?
Yeah,
Before he went to
Tijuana.
Leon. But he's just an amazing finisher. And Vega started off doing well. You know who got that assist? But I started noticing after that when we needed him, I don't know. This is the thing about that I've noticed about Vega is sometimes he doesn't receive the ball correctly, and it kind of like leaves him a little bit. And he was losing the ball, and then Brizuela was losing the ball, and Diva was messing up a lot. And America had some of the ball. But then after that, like, what did you think about the first half of the flow of the first half?
Well, I want to say from Jota Jota's goal to the second goal,
Hmm.
I I I was completely dissatisfied with how the team was actually playing. I
Hmm.
wasn't comfortable with the fact that they were
Me
trying to
too.
absorb so much pressure. It wasn't comforting for me. That makes me really uncomfortable. I like it when a team controls the ball, or at least it's constantly pushing up when it's getting a lot of pressure. Like I like it when it's
Yeah.
either the counter press or you control the ball. I don't like this just absorbing pressure style that Thanos kind of implemented.
And Chivas fans are used to seeing their team with the ball. And that second goal that came after a nice little play between Angulo, passed it off to Vega.
Vega.
Vega passed it off to Macias. Macias returned it really quickly. Vega had the open shot. Great goal. And we've seen that play between Vega and Macias inverted the other way, like the other way around.
Mhm.
Vega trying to hit Macias quickly like that, and it hasn't worked in the past couple of games because Vega has been the touch has been pretty heavy. But it's good to see them work it out this time, and we went into the half winning 2-0, right? If I
Yeah,
remember
when
correctly, yeah,
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 yeah. No, actually 2-1. 2-1.
2-1 at
Wasn't
the
it? Yeah,
half.
they 2-1 at the half. They Viña scored pretty
Oh, that's
late
true.
into the half.
And
Yeah.
yes, you're right. I remember. And
Huge mistakes
huge
by both
mistakes.
right back and left back
Yep,
and Diva.
Diva. Yep, exactly. Those are the
Yeah.
three players that I would because I don't know where Diva was. I don't know who he was supposed to be marking, but then
Viñas. He was supposed to be Marco
right,
Viñas.
it ended up being Ponce against Viñas, but on the wrong side. Ponce was on the wrong side. And a golazo. Okay, so we went into the half winning 2-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's not discredit Viñas. Viñas is an amazing striker in his own right. I mean, JJ and Viñas to me are up there with the best of them in Liga MX. I'm not going to discredit him, but I really do feel all of our defense besides Mier can improve.
Yep, 100%, 100%. And then the second América goal came in the second half, and at that point we were losing the ball a lot, and América were smothering us. And the goal came from something that I had discussed earlier, is that when we lose the ball up front, we have Molina and Beltran who are in charge of that midfield, right?
Yeah.
But they alternate when they attack. So sometimes Molina will go forward, sometimes Beltran will go forward, and we'll get caught out in the midfield. There's a gaping hole. Well, what we saw today was Cone Brizuela down that flank, lost the ball, and then the ball ended up in Cordoba's feet, and he has a great left shot. Amazing. And I don't know, do you think Toño had anything to do with that goal?
I don't think so. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on Toño for that goal. I mean, obviously a goalkeeper could always do a little more. I mean, his positioning has been good throughout this whole tournament. I think even before last season, he was doing good. His positioning's been decent. I'm not gonna really put too much on him there, but I will put a lot on the center defensive mids at the time. I think Molina and Beltran should have been pressing more.
Yeah.
With a player like Cordova out there, and in the second half, Leo Fernandez and Ibargüen, you can't give them too much space, man. They have a boot. You can't give them that much space.
Well, that's where I feel like the coaching was off, because this is something that I've been very persistent about, is Molina and Beltran can't always do that. They do a good job of coming back and defending, but they can't always do that. And they need somebody, a link in that midfield, which ended up being Dieter. I thought that was a good substitution, Dieter going in. But what I didn't like was seeing Angulo come off from that left side. And what did they do? They brought on Antuna for him, which, yes, you want to see Antuna. But they insist on having Brizuela on the field, and they switch Brizuela from the right to the left, and they leave Antuna on that right side. Now, I don't know about you, but I prefer seeing Antuna on that left side rather than Brizuela, because Antuna has a better right foot shot, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I would have liked to see that, but
yeah, I would have honestly kept Angulo on the left because I think he's been great throughout these last 3 games. He's been decent. I mean, in the Tigres game, he wasn't that great, but I want to say in the other 2 games, he was good on that left-hand side. And Antuna could provide a lot for you on that right-hand side. He's been good for Mexico on the right-hand side. He was great for us on the right-hand side towards the end of last season. So I want to see him on the right. Brizuela was just terrible, man. Just so disappointing.
Exactly. But what I was going at is that if you're going to take out Angulo, I would rather see Antuna on the left than Brizuela on the left. And we didn't even mention the substitution at halftime, which was kind of weird. JJ coming out for Saldívar. I guess it makes sense. You want to give Saldívar a run, a good run, a good opportunity, and he does end up pouncing with that 3-2 goal. Quite lucky. Brizuela goes down that left side. He kind of awkwardly lays it off for Ponce. Ponce gets like a kind of weak shot that Ochoa diverts, but not far enough, and straight down the middle, actually. And Saldívar is able to poke it in for the 3-2. And that was unexpected, in my opinion. What did you think? Were you expecting to get that 3-2?
No, man, I was not expecting it at all. But, I mean, as I was saying throughout the game, Chivas cannot take their foot off the gas. I think if they would have consistently been pressing the way that they were towards, like, the middle of the second half or the end, they could have gotten more, and they could have avoided a lot of those mistakes that they were making and giving América the opportunity to score these goals. A lot of those goals were given up because of the fact that Chivas were trying to absorb more pressure instead of pushing up.
Exactly. And I think like 3 minutes before we scored that 3-2 is when Chivas were finally able to kind of get a good rhythm, get a little bit of possession, because before then, from America's 2-2 until like 3 minutes again before our 3-2, America were dominating and they were putting pressure on us. And that's when I really thought we were going to lose this game because we've
Yeah.
seen it so many times before. But I think Dieter helped out a lot. Brizuela, I'm not here to just hate on Brizuela. He does hustle, he puts in good effort, but he makes mistakes that I don't like to see. And, you know, I'm not completely convinced by Chelo either, but, you know, he puts in that pressure at
Yeah,
times.
I'll give credit where credit's due to Brizuela on the defensive side. He
Yeah,
comes back, man. He hustles on the defensive side.
that's probably
Something
why
that
they
not
like
many
him.
wingers are willing to do. I
Hmm.
mean, Angulo's doing it, not as good as Brizuela does, but I mean,
Yeah.
having a guy like Angulo and Brizuela out there, I can understand. But I mean, that's a little too conservative for my
Uh-huh.
taste. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to see my team being like, I like Chivas having the ball. And when we have the ball or when we recover the ball, I like seeing players, take advantage of the space that they have. And Brizuela has not taken advantage of a lot of opportunities that we've had. And then, but what he does take advantage of is a nice little play by Antuna. He breaks, who was it? It wasn't, I forget which defender, America defender it was. He
I
like
think it
took
was
him on. Oh, it
yeah,
might have
I
been
forgot.
Escobosa. It might have been
Yeah,
Escobosa because I
Escobosa.
think Luis Reyes came out and then Escobosa came in at that left side. I think.
Yeah,
I could be wrong there. But either way, he got his waist broken like 5 times by Antuna. It was insane. I thought Antuna was going to look for the shot on his right foot, but then he lays it off to Conejo, who does a really good shot, and there's nothing Ochoa could do about it. I think it hits the post. He hits it with his left, right, and it hits the
yeah.
left post. It's an amazing goal, and I hope it builds his confidence. I hope he feels more confident on the ball, and he makes better decisions from now on. But it's always good to see if the coaching staff believes in him, he's going to play. So I want to see him producing. It's good to see him produce.
Yeah, definitely. I think Visuela can really use the confidence. I think that a lot of what the problem is with Visuela is that he's not doing what he's best at.
Hmm.
He's amazing at defending, but he's not doing what he's best at, which is el regate. He
Yeah,
doesn't attack for the defenders forward. He
yeah.
doesn't take them on as much as he used to, and that's what we really loved about him throughout
Uh-huh.
2017 to late 2018. That he was the player that came in and did that. He was always the guy that took the ball on and said, "Hey, I'm gonna get past you. Doesn't matter what you do." Now it seems to be Antuna for me. Like no matter what guys try and do, the way he took Escobosa was just amazing to
Yeah,
me.
it was amazing. And another thing that we've talked about, obviously we mentioned it in the video, is Brizuela. He at times when we're defending, he goes down there and he accompanies Beltran and Molina. And today, after we scored the 4-2, Brizuela got the ball in midfield and he decided to go across the width of the field. He loses control of the ball. He loses possession. Gaping hole down the middle. Ibargüen scores 4-3. These are the
Yep.
same mistakes we've been talking about, It's
Yeah.
so frustrating. And that could have easily been, you know, a loss. Like later games, that same mistake will mean a loss.
I'm not gonna kind of throw shade at America, but against a full I want to say a fully confident America side,
Hmm.
that's not gonna slide.
Yeah,
Against a
that's not gonna
Tigres,
slide.
against a Cruz Azul, these things
Yeah,
aren't gonna slide, man. So I think
exactly.
that they really have to fix these small little issues that I
Uh-huh.
think we can get into once we look at players more individually.
Let's go. Let's do that really quickly. Let's get through that really quickly. Each player, boom, boom, boom. What do you think about them? Okay, so Toño Rodriguez. What do you think about him?
Good. I think he was good.
I think he did good. A couple times he came out in I think corners or free kicks, and he didn't claim his ball. Not good to see that. The two long shots. I don't know if we're gonna put any blame on him, but he got close, I guess. Really, his team shouldn't be letting him down that way. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
shouldn't even be conceding those shots from
Yeah,
that. From straight on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think the center defensive mids can really improve on that aspect and not have these players get those shots, that space.
Hmm.
What I do enjoy about having Tonyo in goal that I completely did not expect from him is his ability on the ball. I
Yeah.
I like how comfortable he is on the ball. I feel
Safe
confident when
touches.
he has
Yeah.
the ball. Yeah,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with him.
Okay, right back, Chapito. To me, he messed up a couple times, but he's good. He offers depth. He knows what to do when he has the ball. You know what I mean? Like to
Mhm.
secure it, secure possession. So
Yeah,
pretty
he's
good from
definitely
Chapito, right?
yeah, he's definitely one of those players that that going into the 50-50s, I was looking at him every time he goes into 50-50s, he tends to come out with the
Yep.
ball, which is something that I'm happy about. But
Uh-huh.
the problem is that sometimes
He
coming
lost out,
back, he loses it. Yeah.
and he lost out to Cordoba a couple of times, but he did beat him a couple of times. So it was a good matchup right there. Okay, Iramier, I don't think we need to say it. He's great. He saved our ass towards the end there, putting his foot in front of the ball. Amazing defender. He gives great long passes. He's secure in the air. I'm in love with him.
Well, one thing that I want to really point out, say, man, I think your rhetoric on Twitter has really gotten to me because, man, this guy has just gotten
It's
better and
crazy.
better every time I watch him. The long ball
Oh
that
yeah.
he's providing, I think it was 4 accurate long balls that I counted. Four,
Yep.
3 in just the first half. It's
When
just
he,
amazing to me.
when he has that ball and like when we get a chance to advance play with Mier on the ball, I'm always like excited to see who's making a run, like who's gonna get it, you know?
Puro el
And
Canelo en
Jota,
Antuna.
I know, dude, and sometimes Jota has shown good hold up play at times, so that's good to see. Okay, and Tiva, I think he had a worse first half than he did a second half. Still pretty bad second half. He's making mistakes where he pushes up, he makes a foul like 3 times. I think he made a foul pushing up, and his when he does have a nice left foot, but I think he needs to train that better because we could have the same thing that we have with Mier on the right side. We could have with Diva if he improves. He
Yeah.
does make a couple of good passes, but sometimes he catches Angulo, or for example, in a bad, in an awkward situation, and Angulo can't win the ball. It depends who you want to blame there, but I
Yeah.
think we're seeing mistakes at the back from Tiva way too often, especially when the ball is in the air and he's having to defend. He kind of like I've seen him a couple times like lose who he's supposed to be marking.
Yeah. I think his problem is more. I mean, he's a little too precipitated. It's he gets the ball and he makes decisions really prematurely. Like there was a
Hmm.
couple of times that I see him. He has time to make a good decision and pass it off to be it the Ponce or Beltran, but he
Mm.
doesn's do that.
Yeah,
Sometimes he just knocks it out because he's afraid that Viñas is going to come forward to
yeah,
him and press him. So I
exactly.
mean, he could really improve in that aspect. But I mean, he's solid defensively. I don't have a problem with him defensively. Every now and then he does make these mistakes that kind of make him look worse than he actually is. Like the way that he lost
I'm
Vinas in
fine
the
with the
first half.
mistakes if he learns from them, if he shows some, training on that, but I haven't seen much of it. And when he goes pushes up with that ball, he ends up looking like a deer in headlights. It's really
Yeah,
bad. Anyway, left back Ponce is a player that has been convincing me lately, but not today. I'll say that. And it started off in the first half when stupidly he decides to do a little trick instead of just advance the play, dude. You don't need to do a stupid little trick. He loses the ball. America almost score. What did you
yeah.
think about Ponce?
What I think about Ponce is that he does good things in areas where it's not too important. Like in the midfield, he'll do
Yeah.
like a little ruleta here, a
It's
little
like
gambeta here
why?
and there. Like,
It's so
why do you need to do
stupid.
that? Like, he'll get it off and he'll look
Yeah.
good. But then in the defensive side, he makes the wrong pass and he
Yeah.
loses the ball to dangerous players. Like, he constantly does this. And it's something that frustrates me a lot about him. Like, I don't want to see him do bad. But having a guy like Chicote on the bench is just like
Yeah.
it's just amazing to me how he
And
still
right
has his
now it's
job.
because Chicote's still injured, by the way. But
Yeah,
I do want to see Chicote get in there because I think Ponce. I like what Ponce offers offensively, but I think Chicote could offer even more. You know what I mean? I think Ponce will be a good backup. A good backup. Yeah.
especially with a guy like Angulo on the field. If
Yeah.
Chicote and Angulo are out there together, I think with
Oh, that's gonna be
Angulo's
insane.
ability to come back and his
Uh-huh.
ability to go forward, it's good.
Molina and Beltran will do that kind of in a partnership. I think they did pretty good. At times they looked overwhelmed, but it is always a tough task to tell two mid. They're your two midfielders. You know what I mean? It's just
Mhm.
two. It's a big task. So I'm gonna say they did a pretty good job, but I think they need some help in the middle.
Yeah, I'm happier with Molina than I am with Beltran this game. I feel like Beltran was really getting hit a lot this game, so I'm
He
not really.
was. He was on the ground a lot.
Yeah, he was getting hit a lot, so I think I'm gonna give Molina a little bit of a better rating than I do
Hmm.
Beltran, but just because of the fact that Molina was just so solid today.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that Piojo told his players to do because he knew the pressure that was going to be on Beltran to receive the ball quickly, let go of it quickly, make the right pass, not lose it in between two or three America players. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Piojo told his players to rustle, some feathers out there with Beltran. But okay, and then the top three, JJ did really good. Vega, um, in that creative role, it's hit or miss for me. Angulo, quick, smart passes. I'd say an average performance, pretty good. What'd you think about Saldivar?
Saldivar was good. I'm not expecting too much from him.
Yeah.
He is I guess, our replacement for when JJ does decide to go to Europe. I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to play this season, he said, but I guess for now he's okay. But I
Hmm.
wouldn't want to have him as our first, like
Yeah.
our first choice striker. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that.
JJ gets you out of a lot of tricky games. And I'm not sure Saldivar has that same intelligence. You know what I mean? Positioning himself. And then that finish that's very characteristic of JJ. I don't know. He does well to take advantage of that chance. But he's pretty slow. I think he's kind of too slow.
Yeah, he's really slow and he tends to make the same play over and over again.
Hmm.
He fakes right, goes wide left, and then tries to hit it really hard down.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really frustrating to have to see that play over and over again because I saw it last game against Mazatlan like
Hmm.
3 times in a row. He kept trying the same shot, kept trying the same shot, and today same thing. He kept trying the same shot. Eventually, it'll get off one, and it's going to be a nice goal, but it's just not enough.
I'd rather see, and Ronaldo Cisneros came in after in the end, and I'd rather see Ronaldo down the middle. I mean, you gave the chance to Saldívar down the middle today, but I want to see in future games Ronaldo get that same chance down the middle. So yeah, and Dieter did pretty well. I think he's what Molina and Beltran needed. What did you think about Dieter?
I'm really impressed with Ethan, honestly. When he came in, I didn't expect to see
Mm-hmm.
much of a great player. I thought he was just going to be, honestly, another situation with a player with so much potential, but with not
Mm-hmm.
that entrega. He was just not doing anything. But I mean, this guy has just impressed me every time he comes
Uh-huh.
in. His ability to control the ball, his ability to slow down the game and really make it his pace. It's
Uh-huh.
just amazing. He's great. I think he could help out Molina and Beltran a lot.
There is some decision making that I don't quite agree with when it comes to Dieter. And today it was like 2 minutes left. We really needed to hold out the result, and Dieter chooses to take a weak shot. He has to improve his shot if he's going to be taking shots. You know what I mean? Like it was a
Yeah.
terrible shot, and then América had the ball again. So I don't know. Like I guess that's kind of being too picky. Players can have a shot sometimes. It's not a big deal, but I don't know. I think the priority at that moment was to keep possession.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, ripping it every now and then doesn't really
Yeah.
it wouldn't really be a negative for me if
Hmm.
it wasn't such an important time in the game.
Yeah.
If it wasn't 2 minutes to go, America's only a goal down, and they have
Hmm.
the ability to just get up there and score a goal on you anytime from distance, from headers, a stop. If they would have stopped the ball with a foul or anything, they're dangerous in those moments. So
Hmm.
I mean, holding the ball was really a priority, and get to make that bad shot and give
Yeah.
the ball.
But I'll say what I'd rather see Dieter taking a shot than Molina, which is what we've seen before when players like Dieter aren't on the field. Sometimes Molina takes the shot, and he is not a good shot at all. But anyway, we're in the final. We made it to the final. We beat America. It's always good for a little bit of banter. But what do you think about Sunday? Right, is the final against Cruz Azul. I think Cruz Azul is a really strong team. We will not have it easy. They're actually my favorites to win it this Sunday. I think they will win. I think they'll beat us. They look too strong, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, they look great. Honestly, Cruz Azul looks so strong, and Chivas has to improve on these small little
Yeah,
details that I don't think they'll fix by
I don't
Sunday.
think so either. I don't think so either, because we've been seeing it after, game and game again, even last season. It's similar mistakes that Tena refuses to work on. Anyway, that was it. That was us for today. We hit the 25-minute mark. Thank you so much if you watched until now. Again, this is Chivas Status. I'm Rigol Chiva. This is Dude It's Danny. Follow us on Twitter. Thank you so much.